For BCG, Gen AI really is a triple word score. It is very important and vital for how we serve our clients. It is reshaping parts of our own industry. And it's really critical to our talent who want to come to BCG to get really cutting edge capabilities. And so for us, it's all about animating innovation. Bottoms up, tops down, always with human beings at the center and making sure that we're using responsible AI along the way.
I'm curious, you are obviously BCG's chief people officer, but you are an active commercial officer as well. So what are leaders out there telling you, I suppose, what are their biggest concerns when implementing, when getting the most out of these new AI tools when it comes to people management?
The first are business questions that any leader would ask, which is, how do I know that I'm going to get return on this? Where do I start? How does all this thing work? Is it responsible for me to make big money technology decisions right now in a world where the technology is moving as quickly as it is? And the good news there is that we can dissect and see what actually works, and we know that when you use AI at the core of your business, when you use it to reshape some of the most important work that you're doing, that is one of the big signals of the 5% of companies that are really getting value out of AI. The second is that they are taking this on as a true soup to nuts transformation, not just a technology implementation, but looking at people, looking at process, looking at culture, and really creating all of that. What is the role of human beings, right? What are we trying to actually let the machines do? And what is really uniquely human that is going to keep at the center? And I think they're asking that question from a number of different angles. One is, where should my compass be in terms of what I do want to take out and what I don't want to take out in terms of work? Two is, how do I think about the role of leaders and managers moving forward, which I think is a particularly fascinating one. And then the third is, how do I move my people, my organization through this in a way that they don't feel like they're now sidelined, right? That actually they feel at the center of this, not some sort of byproduct. And I think those are all really important facets to explore.
How do you answer those questions then?
I think there's a few things to them. One is, on this question that I think is super interesting about what is the role of the manager. I mean, the truth of the matter is in most organizations, managers are spending a lot of time just connecting the dots with people, right? Oh, I was in this meeting and this got mentioned. I was in that meeting, that got mentioned. Let me make sure I tell my team so that they can connect the dots on that. Or, managing priorities and workflows and things like that. Honestly, that's a lot of stuff that AI can be hugely helpful with. It's important that those dots get connected, but it's not super high value work to just repeat what you heard somewhere else, right? So I think a lot of that kind of work management is going to come out from a lot of managers' jobs. I think what is going to be more important is, how do they spark creativity? How do they spark new ideas? How do they motivate their employees, develop their employees? And particularly when we think about development, I mean, in a world where work is changing so quickly. And so managers are really, I think, going to have to spend more time not just managing work, but actually helping their people develop, adapt to change, and move through and build capabilities for the organization and build capabilities for themselves.
I am curious though, where do you draw the line on automation in people processes? What has to stay human?
What has to stay human is the view of what the objectives are. What's the work that I'm trying to get done? What's success look like? Those are things that AI is not going to tell you. Those are things that AI, I'm sure if you put something into ChatGPT, it's going to spit out something which is eloquent and maybe makes you think a little bit, but it's not actually going to know what your objectives are, what matters for your business, what matters for your team. And just to give an example, that I heard just this week, I won't name the organization, but this was, when I was talking with clients a few days ago, someone said that one of the very senior leaders actually admitted that he was enjoying more sparring with the LLM than he was sparring with his management team. And the good news is he recognized that and that wasn't great. So I do really think that that's one of the things that we have to be careful of, that we don't lose the human collaboration, because that is where creativity comes from. And it doesn't mean that it can't be machine assisted, but the machine cannot replace that. And talk about what are we trying to achieve together, what are we trying to get outcomes we get to. Those are very human motivations. I mean, we all need, as human beings, we need mastery, we need connectivity, we need to feel like we're part of achieving something. Otherwise, why get out of bed in the morning? And if that component doesn't come through, we will not have harnessed any real gains or productivity out of how we change work with AI.